Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pig Empire. I know it's been a little bit of time, just kind of been really busy in real life, but got some time. We're gonna sit down this morning. We're gonna record an episode here. We got some wild news, and I don't know if you guys are gonna be ready for it, but we now have 2,000 pigs. That's right, you heard me, 2,000 pigs. We had 600 new pigs be born overnight from March to April. That is a crazy number. So we're sitting at 1,500 pigs in the OG confinement barn here. And that brings some pressure. Like, what are we going to do? As you can see, I just lifted my head up and looked at the roof and like, what are we going to do? So we have 500 new pigs in this barn. And they used almost 21,000 liters of feed last month. They added 25,000 liters of slurry, and they consumed 14,000 liters of straw. And they gave me 13,000 liters of manure, which is great. And we need that for the fertilization production. But we're at 1,500 pigs in this barn. And this barn only holds 1,600. So we're going to have to play the moving game. And we'll get to that a little bit later in the episode. Let's get this door closed. We don't want those piglets to get sick. I'm going to do a quick jump down here on the screen and go to the other pig barn so you can kind of see what's going on there as well. So here we go. Let's go visit the pig barn. We can just fly in this game, All right, so now we're in the new pig barn, and we have 500 pigs in here now. And we had 100 new babies be born. See? This little guy right here was born overnight. Isn't he cute? Just trying to barely stand up on his own and do his thing. And here comes the mamas. Well, this barn used 8,000 liters of feed last month. They produced 11,000 liters of slurry, consumed 6,000 liters of straw, and gave me 5,100 liters of manure. But this pig barn holds 2,500 pigs. So, like I said, we're going to have to play move the pig game because we got to have to get some of these pigs from the OG confinement into this confinement barn, and that's kind of where we need to go. And we'll do that later on down the episode. This episode's going to be a little bit longer than normal. I'm trying a new format out, and I just want to see how it's going to work. So, the pigs are being done. Let's go check on the cows. As you can see, when I popped in here, I was standing right by the truck. Well, guess what? I ran them out of TMR again. Not that I don't have the TMR, I just didn't feed them. Thought they were going to make it through the night, and they didn't. So, this morning, before I started recording, I hopped in the barn and gave them 100,000 liters of food. Now they're happy. Very happy. But if we jump in and look at the pit cows here, we have 10 of them that are going to have babies next month of the Holsteins, and then we also have another 10 of the Brown Swiss. So we're going to have 20 new babies in the month of May. And then if we look up at the 38 monthers, so we have 20 of the Holsteins and 20 of the Brown Swiss. That's 40. We're going to have 40 more babies in June. So we're going to add 60 new babies to the cow barn. And why do you say that is because this barn can hold 374. So we're going to bump it up to about almost half of the cow barn, which is really good. They're growing and they're giving us milk, and we're keeping the little cheese factory full, and that's what we need to do. And that's what these girls are doing. They're just producing milk and keeping that production alive so we can sell that product at the end of the year. If you look on screen, I do have a contract going, doing a hoeing contract for about $20,000. And that's kind of where we're at. So I really just wanted to talk about the pigs and what we're going to do. So my game plan is, let's look here. I'm most likely going to be taking Let's go to the OG barn. Sorry. These 250, 13 months, and we're going to drop them in the new pig barn. So we'll move them. And when I move them, we might drop reproduction or health, because that's what happened last time. But there's plenty of food, and they'll be back on track in the following month. But my other concern is the pig empire is growing, and the pigs are about ready to be sold. So we have 250 pigs that we're going to need to sell in June. But if I sell these 250 pigs, because we're going to sell them at 26 months, we're going to be without a pig sale for another 10 months. So I don't think I'm going to sell all 250. I think my game plan is to sell 100 or 150. I haven't quite got it figured out yet. Probably with 150. And we'll sell those girls in June, so you guys can see a first pig sale. That's kind of my thought process. I don't want to sell all 250 and then not be able to sell pigs again for 10 months. That's boring. And I just don't want to do that. So that's going to be my game plan. In June, we're going to sell 150 pigs. You guys can see what a pig sell, how much money we can make off a pig sell. Okay. So I've done some other stuff in the month of June. I got up early at 8 in game, and the grass needed to be mowed. So let's visit that field so you guys can see. We still have the grass field here. We visited it, hired a worker, got it mowed. Now it just needs to be picked up and put in the TMR maker, and I can do that whenever. So we just dumped 100,000 liters of TMR into the cows, and now we need to replace that. So that's what we're going to be doing. But it looks great. It looks healthy. The ground needs a little bit of taking care of now that we mowed it, and we'll have another grass cut in July. But now for the fun stuff. It's corn planting time, people. We need to get this corn in the ground to take care of our pigs. And we're going to be planting 95 acres of corn. 95 acres of corn. Holy moly. So, this is going to be our biggest corn planting season yet. And I'm very interested to see how much corn we're going to produce. If you remember, we averaged about 105 to about 107% yield last corn harvest. And I think that's probably where we're going to be again. So, excuse me. I'm excited for this. I think that we have a lot of work to do. And planting season has officially started. So this is the main field. We'll go ahead and get this planted. Then we'll hop over to the new big field and we'll get that planted. And then we'll hop over to the long stretch that you can see in the upper left-hand corner, and we'll get that planted. And I guess I'll just bring you back in when all that stuff is done. You know, there's a lot going on in the month of April. We cut grass. We had 600 new babies. The cows ran out of TMR again. I had to feed them this morning. So it's been a busy morning on the farm. And that's the farm life. There's always something going on. Always something needs to be done. And truly, this is what I enjoy. A little bit of chaos in the morning. I'm going to make this episode probably 3 months. April, May, and June. Start off with the 600 new babies, feeding the cows, dropping off the milk. And the big win is putting this feed in the ground for the pigs. 96 acres. My rough guess is going to be about 800,000 liters of corn is what we're going to get in October. I was trying to get 1 million. That's what I wanted. I wanted 1 million, but I don't think I'm going to get there. Because what I really wanted to do was rotate the fields. I wanted to plant corn 1 year, and then plant soybeans the next year for a cash crop. And then go back to corn, and then back to soybeans, or soybeans and wheat, or something of that nature, because we're going to have to keep getting straw for the animals. Those are my goals. That's what I want to do. Not sure where we're going to be, but we'll figure that out along the way. Oh, what's going on here? Why isn't that working? Let me check that out. That doesn't look right, and I want to make sure that's planting. It says it's planting, it just didn't give it that state like the rest of this. That's kind of weird. Let's look on the map. No, it says it's planted. Okay, well. Some of this farm sim game stuff, you just never know. Well, I'm not going to make you watch 3 hours of corn planting. So I'm going to step away. I'm not even going to put any music in it. That sigh is the sigh. It's over. It's done with. It's planted. 96 acres has been done and planted. We have next year's feed for animals. Or for our Piggly Wigglies, as they say. You can look on the map. You can see everything in orange has been planted. Now, I know that this is planted. You can see. Actually, it doesn't say that it's planted. I might have to go inspect that. I'll bring you back in a second. Alright, welcome back. Well, did some research offline, looked at all that stuff. I think the field got planted in corn. From what I can tell, it's just a bug with precision farming and me merging the field together. I'll wait until the month of May, see if I get a growth stage on it. If not, I'll try to replant it. If that doesn't happen, we'll replow that whole section and then replant it again, as we can plant corn in April and in May. As you can see, I did a grass cut while you guys were away. And now I'm just picking it up with this forage wagon, and then we're going to go dump this grass into the TMR maker and make some more TMR for our lovely little dairy milk producing machines. That's kind of all I've got going on so far. I do have a couple contracts that I am going to go finish in the month of April. But for the month of April, it was a pretty good month. I mean, we've done what we intended to do. We planted the corn. Had a hiccup with the game. As you know, Giant software just works beautifully and there are no issues whatsoever. Mowed the grass. And now we've picked it all up. We're going to dump it in the TMR maker. We fed the moo-moos because they were out of food. The piggies are holding tight. And nothing needs to be done with them yet at this given point in time. They have plenty of food. I don't have an idea of when I'm going to move some pigs. I'll probably do that offline. You guys don't want to watch me move pigs in the big trailer. We've done that before. So, well, like I said, the month of April has pretty much been done and taken care of. Let's make sure this fermenter is ready to go. away for a hot minute. Just gotta come over here and go to the other barn. But the fields are looking great. The corn planted was showing about 117% yield. So that's really good. We can walk over there and I can show you that here in 1 second. I think I'm gonna cut these cherry blossom trees out though. Holy moly, they hit everything. I have AI drivers, everything just hits them and it's just not good. We do need to roll the fields. Oh. That's weird. There's stuff going on with the game. You can see that for sure. The fields I think need to be rolled, so we'll probably end up doing that. Hire a worker for that. But at least as you can see, let's go check them out. So one is planted. Let's go visit it. Everything looks good. It needs rolled. And we do have some weeds that are going to need to be taken care of, but it's showing 116, 117%. We'll get more of that once that gets rolled. As you can see, I still have the tractor, and the planter sitting over here. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. So there's field 1. Field 24, which is right next to the thing. Everything looks good. See? It looks a little bit different because this was completely plowed. So just needs to be rolled. Looks like there are some weeds growing that we'll take care of those next month. Go to 9. Let's go visit that. This was cultivated. The one was plowed. There's two differences. You can still see this is cultivated. This is going to give us weeds so we can spray to get our precision farming score up. So as you can see, this is sitting about 105, 112. This is just a different funky field because of the soil type. So this is all done and taken care of. And then 26, you can see is here. Let's visit that. And that's the same way. That's about 122 right now, 117. We'll go ahead and roll that bad boy and we'll be good to go. So let's go get in the roller. Let's get the roller. Let's enter this tractor. Let's unhitch it. Let's go over to the farm. Grab the roller. And let's get it rolling. I think that's kind of where we need to start. Get this guy rolling on all the fields. Get the extra bonus for the rolled fields. Grab the other tractor. Hook up the fertilizer. Probably do the hoe first and then the fertilizer. Get a couple of those contracts knocked out of the way. See if any other contracts pop up for the month of April. And then we will sleep and go to the month of May. Fertilize. Bring you guys back in then. You can see that process for a minute. We'll talk about the pigs and what my decision was on where to move them. And we'll be good to go. Well, I will see you back in a little bit. Well, as we pull back into the yard, it is 2026 at the end of April. It's been a month. As you saw guys earlier in the video, 25 wouldn't plant, and so I had to go back, plow up 25, relime it, and then reseed it. But everything now is done and taken care of. All the corn has been planted. All of our 90 acres has been done. Field 8 has been mowed, and we will fertilize it in the month of May. So the next stages for all of our corn is to fertilize. So we're going to fertilize field 1, 25, 24, 26, 9, and 10. And then we can just let them grow. So that's where we're at. We finished up the month of April. Also, off camera, I did some work. I moved the animals. I moved all of the big breeding sows to the new Pixie barn. This barn holds 2,500 animals. That's where I want to leave most of the breeders, so that's where they're going to stay. But here's what's going to be funny. 100, 250, 250. So 500 and 100. We'll have 600 more pigs again in 6 months. So April, October, we'll have another 600 birther. Probably not, though. I'm probably going to sell these first 100 in the month of June so that you guys can see that process. or I might wait until they give birth. They'll give birth in 4 months. So maybe April, May, June, July, maybe July, we'll sell the first 100. That's probably what we're going to do. But the month of April has come to a close. She got little guys are over here now, so 5 months through 0 months. And funny, if you guys remember my episodes before, um, when we moved pigs, we had some health percentage dropped. Same thing happened with these babies. I moved these babies over, these 50 over first, and their health was at 42. Now it's at 56. Same thing here. This was dropped down to like 55, and now it's at 60%. So my assumption is in the next month or two, they'll get back to 100% health, and then they'll start to grow once they get 100% healthy. But that's where we're at for the month of April. Everything is done and planted. All the fields have been rolled. Everything is ready to go. Look at the lights. Holy moly. Pretty cool. All right. Well, that's where I'm going to end it for the month of April. I will bring you guys back in. Look at the lights in that grow shed. Isn't that cool? You can see. Let's go take a look at that while we're standing here just real quick. This is what I was talking about. This is what the lights look like at night. These tomatoes are just growing. These plants are growing. It is really cool. It's a cool visual. It's a cool effect from Giants. And whoever made this mod, it just makes it look like it's actual grow shed. So that's pretty cool. All right, well, let's go to the house. So let's look at these pigs. So we're sitting at what, 56 for the 50% health here, and 60 for the 550 pigs. So let's run to the house. Let's sleep. We'll jump back in here in the month of May, and let's see where we're at. Let's go ahead and hit the sleep trigger. And we'll wake up in May at 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll try to keep that consistent. Let's see. Boom. All right. Let's check them out. 93% for those guys and 96% for that. So they're already starting puberty. You can see them growing. 50%, you can see them growing. These guys are growing. And look, 250 pigs are 25% reproduction. So in 3 months, we'll have 100 or 250. So 350, 500, 750. We're gonna have 750 pigs in 4 months, 3 months, something like that. Holy moly, we're gonna have another 150 in 2 months. These guys are just eating, growing machines. I will end up putting some corn in here. It's at 43,000. When I started them in the month, there was over 60. So they had 20,000 liters of corn. I'll give you all those numbers on the flip side. But that's kind of where we're at. There's no contracts yet this morning. We need more. I need to go gather up all the manure and put it back in here so we can continue making fertilizer. We're at 15,000 liters of fertilizer, which is pretty cool. But the grow shed still has 11,000, so I could fill it up and call it a day if I needed to. Fermenting silo, all the silage is in there. I'm probably going to, I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. This isn't, mod isn't working like it's supposed to anymore. I have some straw sitting over there. I can turn straw into, yeah, I got to figure all this out. So more to come with that. But we still got 500,000 liters of TMR for the cows. So they should be okay. Speaking of the cows, let's see where we're at. We had babies. We have 20 new babies. And we're going to have another 40 babies next month, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. So the process for the month of May is we'll continue doing contracts, and we are going to fertilize our fields. I'm not going to show you the fertilization. I will show you after they're done. But I just wanted to bring you in for the month of April. We'll be finished off and see where we're at with all the animals, show you what I did, and we will move forward with the time here. I don't know why that's set on easy. And we'll go from there. All right. As the sun sets in the month of May, that's a wrap for the pig empire. If you think back to where we started in these last 2 months, we had one goal, and that was to put feet in the ground for our pigs, because we have so much growth and it's accelerating fast. When April started, we crossed a huge milestone. The pig empire reached over 2,000 pigs, and that changed how everything that I wanted to do on the farm. There's now more pressure on our barns, which I had to move pigs around and take care of. More pressure on our productions, because we need money to buy fields to keep producing corn to feed these pigs. And a whole lot more responsibility. Over the last couple months, or I should say the last month of April, we planted 96 acres of corn. I know I said 90 and I know I said 95. 96.55 acres of corn. And that's what we need to help keep this farm moving forward. I am going to work on doing some more contracts offline and try to buy one of those 2 fields that are existing out there with corn. I manifested it, so I wanted some extra acres because I like to spend money in this game. On the production side of things, the commercial grow shed is doing its job. It's producing 33 pallets of tomatoes every single month and keeping the ketchup factory full. So that production is just running and running and running and making us gonna make us a ton of money. The fertilizer plant, it's working. It's doing its thing. It's nice and slow and steady. It's like a tortoise, just chugging along nice and slow. I also added a liquid fertilizer, so we're going to start making liquid fertilizer out of our manure as well. So solid fert for the grow shed, liquid fertilizer for all our production, for all our fertilizing needs on the farm. Spring wasn't cheap on my old checkbook. I spent a lot of money on lime, and a lot of money on liquid fertilizer, hence the reason I want to start making it. I also brought a new tractor. I bought a Case IH 8950. It's got 250 horsepower, but it's just enough to pull my forage wagon, pull the milk tank around, and just do some odds and end jobs around the farm. Every dollar I spend on this farm prepares us for what's next to come. The bigger the pig empire gets, the smarter this farm has to become. And we've talked about that many times. And I think that's what this series is becoming. Showing you guys how to make a farm fully operational from everything that you have on the farm. There's no reason to go buy some of this stuff. You can make it. And that's kind of where my background comes from. I'm given a sheet. I'm told to put product out. I put product out. It sells. It walks out the door. Rinse and repeat. Our pigs needed corn, so we planted 96 acres of corn. The corn needs fertilizer. We used the pig manure and the cow manure. Tomatoes, they feed our ketchup factory. And those productions are creating income for us. And like I said, that income helps build the pig empire. I think everything is fully connected now, but I'm definitely not done. Next episode, we're going to keep our eye on the corn crop. It seems to be doing well. We're going to keep managing our herd because we're going to keep having babies over the next couple months. And we're going to have our first pig sale. I think we're going to sell 150. And like I said, I have my eye on 2 cornfields. Let's see if I can make that work. I just wanted to say thank you. I know I said in the beginning of the video, it's been about 3 weeks, almost a month by the time this hits the YouTubes for a video. I've been really busy in my personal life, a lot of things going on, and I haven't had a chance to sit down and fully record a video. So I want to say thank you for your patience. Thank you for all the likes and comments on the reels and the posts and the shorts. And I appreciate every one of you. If you enjoyed today's episode of me rambling around the farm and talking to myself, hit the like button. And if you really liked it, maybe subscribe. And let me know in the comments. I always ask for comments. If this was your pig empire, what would you do next? So until next time, grow through what you go through. For Miles Acres.